On February 2nd, 2024, the Spirealm was released on iQIYI in its entirety. All 78 episodes and 6 BTS cuts were put up on the Chinese streaming platform only to be taken down just as abruptly mere hours later. Viewers barely had time to finish the first episode before it vanished, leaving behind only a landing page with the words "coming soon." Last year, around the same time, another danmei was released. Going by the name Justice in the Dark, we were given 8 episodes before it was taken off air. Fans of the drama still hope in the depths of their heart that possibly it might continue. But instead, it's just sitting there, teasing us with all of what could have been. As most of the people who are watching know, China has some problems when it comes to airing BL-type dramas. Even with all the editing, the changes in the scripts, the characters, the world, the romances, making them shells of what they were. Bromances, where boys look at each other longingly and give each other rings, or chickens, or your life force, I guess? Boys who are practically husbands in the source material are regulated to sworn brothers or besto friendos. And yet, despite their best efforts in hiding these relationships from the Chinese censors, there's still the fact that they are based on BL novels, and China won't allow such vulgar culture to be aired lest the youth of tomorrow be corrupted by the gay. Despite this, some danmei are able to continue on in the less lucrative international market, with works such as Stay With Me and The Unknown being produced by Chinese companies and released in Taiwan. This, unfortunately, isn't a road many dramas can go down. The cost of production is just too high for such a low return. Enter the Spirealm, a bromance based loosely on the novel Kaleidoscope of Death, written by Shi Ji-shi, which I probably said really wrong. I'm so sorry, I'm not good at Chinese pronunciation, but I will try my best throughout the rest of this video. It follows a man named Ling Ji-shu who receives an anonymous VR game called the Spirealm, an intense escape room where players have to find keys and pass through different doors or levels to complete the game. Inside one of these doors, he meets Ran Lanju, who saves him from a wolf and teaches him the rules he needs to know to survive within the game. The drama itself, being 78 episodes long, might feel intimidating, but those 78 episodes were barely 20 minutes each, and it's a quick few days for an experienced binge watcher such as myself. I sped through this drama like my life depended on it, and in some ways it did, because I was going insane. I needed to know what happens next. And I really did enjoy it, despite not really being good with horror and jump scares. There's a little bit of gore too, but the actors, in my opinion, did well, and I found myself quite emotionally invested in the characters, the setting, and the world. Now, the protagonist, Ling Ji-shu, might look a little familiar because he is played by Hwang Jun-jae, who I really liked in The Sound of Providence, which is my favorite WBG adaptation, as he plays Xiaoge, or Zhang Xiling. I was really happy to see him in this with Xiao Zhang's bandmate, Xie Jiguang. They both did an amazing job at staring at each other longingly and making me believe that they were just bros. The Spirealm did struggle in some ways, and it did remind me a little of Guardian, a cast of people who seemed to really like what they were doing, but unfortunately had to change a lot to satisfy censors. Also, that CGI, Another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was this running political commentary about Western capitalism. And although I agree there are problems with capitalism, it felt forced in this, especially in the end. But despite that, I still enjoyed it overall, and I think it had a coherent and interesting story until that last part, as I'm pretty sure many of us who have finished it would agree. The ending was weird, wrong, sad. I'm not sure what emotion to put there, really. All I know is that you really shouldn't get attached to anyone. It's not worth it, guys. Emotional attachments in an escape room horror just isn't going to end well for anyone. For some reason, my drama list lists this as a comedy. And definitely there are comedic undertones, but I wouldn't classify it as such. It leans more towards horror, thriller, and the supernatural, as well as, I guess, some futuristic parts as well, but not comedy. I think if you want more of the comedy aspects, definitely check out the novel, where you can probably find a lot of dick jokes and ass appreciation galore. Oh, and cross dressing. Lots and lots of cross dressing. As you might have guessed, after its unexpected release and subsequent unrelease, it garnered a pretty intense fan base. Of course, you had those who were already anticipating it, as they had been following it since the initial shooting all the way back in November of 2022. But there were quite a few new fans who discovered it just because they like BL, or maybe they just wanted to know why it was taken down so hastily. Was it because of some overt boy loving? Did the actors somehow cross the boundaries that censors had to take it down before it corrupted the youth? Rumors would suggest that the production team were aware of the inevitable pull, but saw the brief release as a strategic move to attract viewers and potentially recoup their investments. Not only that, but its format of being what is called a micro short drama meant that it could possibly get past some of the regulations that it faced. However, despite its best efforts, it only lasted online for a very brief period before it was taken down the same night it was put up. Whether or not this strategy ends up being good or bad, we can only really let time tell. But the lack of transparency led to various speculations, which could have a negative impact going forward for Danmei in general. Both Xie Jiguang and Huang Junjie's popularity saw a significant uptick after the release of this drama, despite it not technically being online for anyone in China, showing that BL always finds a way. In any case, it's good to see at least one Danmei leaving censorship jail, and if you want to check it out, I really can't direct you to anywhere in the moment, but do consider Google. It is your friend. And I guess that's where we're stopping for now. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more of Hime talking about her real incurable obsession, BL.